So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. Now, what's going to put out, obviously, the bit of a showcase for the POG Champion mod, that's going to come tomorrow now, because I didn't have time yesterday to get it all done. I was talking to POG Champion a lot and just trying to fix a few little things. So I'm going to get that out tomorrow, and then we'll start the Manchester United playthrough at some point. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be very, very soon, once we have everything set up. But for today's video, folks, we're heading back to FIFA because there's some big news, and it's quite big news, I'll admit, because if you head over to Twitter or you type FIFA 23 in anywhere on Google, the first thing that pops up is this: FIFA 23 will allow cross-system competition for the first time. That does mean, of course, that players from Xbox, PC, and PlayStation systems will be able to face each other. Now, this source, I believe, came from some blokety bloke called Tom Henderson, who's a gaming journalist. But this guy, to be fair, is quite creditable. He has often announced stuff before it's happened, and he's got it right. So, let's go over here. As I said, there's a bunch of different articles. You've got this one. You've got this one. There's another one here with will FIFA 23 have cross-play? And then you've got another one right here as well. So, you know, plenty of articles. But we're going to go for the one with a nice dark black theme, because honestly, this day and age, websites should all have the dark theme. I don't like the whiteness in my face. It blinds me. All right, let's go over this article then. This is from Xfi, okay? So for the first time in the franchise's history, players across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox devices will be able to play together. Now, there's also a lot of other things going on with FIFA, folks, because they may very well lose the name. I think it expires around December time after the Qatar World Cup. So the name of FIFA could be changing, but it won't change for FIFA 23, because FIFA 23 will, of course, be around out probably September, October. Or probably October. EA's flagship release has been covered in mystery these past several months after the publisher issued a press release in October 2021 stating that it is reviewing its licensing agreement with FIFA. Earlier in the week, I reported via VGC that EA's CEO Andy Wilson had told staff that it's been impeded by FIFA, or by the FIFA brand. Despite these comments, it seems that EA will be continuing with the FIFA brand for at least this year, with the next title being named FIFA 23. There has been no indication from sources familiar with the project that FIFA 23 will be free to play, despite rumors circulating that it could be the case. I think it's going to happen, though. I mean, let's be honest. If Konami can pull it off, not that we've seen much of it, but they're certainly aiming for it, I'm very sure that EA can do the same and probably do a pretty good job of it as well. So, one of the biggest changes to this year's FIFA title, though, is that it will feature cross-play for the first time in the series' history, bringing FIFA players across the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC platforms together for all of the title's game modes. In addition, FIFA 23 will contain both the men's and women's World Cups, with EA expanding its licensing partnership across all the major leagues to drive and build a single FIFA experience that brings males and females together. Interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think it'd be quite entertaining. Not that I know anything about women's football. I don't. I'm sorry. Apart from, what's her name? Morgan. Because she's American and I live in America. And she's, you know, she's a tasty piece, to be fair. That's the only woman I really know when it comes to, well, there's a few. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, it should be interesting. You got men's football, women's football. Just pick what you want. Moving on, there have been improvements to its new hypermotion technology too, which was first introduced in FIFA 22. The technology has been enhanced tenfold and now allows the development team to capture animations from real footballers in real matches using stadium cameras, eliminating the need for XN suits. Interesting. This change has resulted in the team being able to capture over 100 times more data in a single league season than they have ever captured in the franchise's entire 29-year history. It was claimed during a recent staff meeting. It sounds good, but we've all been there, and I will never ever get excited about anything more about technology. Not going to happen. Because hypermotion tech, it looked great, and we covered all this before last year when they were announcing it. And I played the game, and I was like, okay, I can see the players taking better touches. You know, they trap it on the knee, and then the ball falls to the floor, and it looks like it's not just one animation. It looks like everything's kind of separate. And then what happens? They bring out an update, they speed the game up, and then Hypermotion Tech just looks like old crap that we've seen before. So I'm not going to get excited about any kind of technology they name or go on about, because FIFA's... It's the engine, isn't it? The engine's not the best. Now, they're not going to change the engine. I don't think they're going to change things up now with next gen for a while, for a long, long time. It's not like EA is suddenly going to go, oh, we're going to go to the Unreal Engine. It's not going to happen. They're fine with the engine they're currently on. They use this engine for a lot of other games, and I just can't see it changing, which personally for me is why I don't think I'm ever really going to get back into FIFA, but it's each to own. Oh, it's to each his own. That's the word. So, although these changes will be significant to the series, the big question still looming is whether or not EA will abandon the FIFA brand, with recent trademark filings suggesting it could be the case, and EA opting to call the series EA Sports FC. I don't know if we'd be able to wrap our head around that. EA Sports FC sounds terrible, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, if it's a name change, it's a name change. Is it really going to affect EA as a whole? Absolutely not. They have a huge fan base, and just because they're going to change a name, folks, it's not going to mean a whole lot. So there we have it. What do you guys make of that? Now, what is crossplay all about? Is it worth the hassle? Personally, for myself, I'm not really that fussed about it. I know a lot of the times when I go on like Call of Duty and stuff, if I ever go on it, I turn off crossplay, but that's a different game. Like a shooter, there is no chance in hell that I'm going to play against someone on PC with a controller and expect to do the same things. No, I'm not good with a keyboard and mouse. I'm more of a controller guy, but I will admit, if you have a controller versus a keyboard and mouse, the keyboard and mouse is going to win the battle. So yeah, something like Call of Duty, I don't really bother with, but a football game, it's different. You use a controller either way, and honestly, it's probably a disadvantage using a keyboard over a controller for an actual sports title. So we'll see, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, look, PC against PlayStation, Xbox against PlayStation, or PC against Xbox, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's going to be there for you guys to enjoy. If this does happen, of course, you would expect the PC version this year coming out to be next gen and to have that Hypermotion tech. How's that going to work? You know, are you going to do the old gen versus old gen? I think you have to. Maybe you don't. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's the big news for today, folks. You let me know what you think about that. It's going to be an interesting year for FIFA and EA, especially with the name change that could happen. That probably won't happen until next year. There's obviously this as well. They are adding more and more things. I mean, it's getting to the point now where it's insane. I mean, you know, judging by the technology they're using, I mean, the stuff they're being able to capture on camera and adding more and more and more. I mean, you can't say that EA don't go all out on it. They do. As much as I can't stand the gameplay, everything else for FIFA and EA works. You know, I mean, there's a lot of content online. I did a FIFA mobile review the other day, or an in-depth look, and I've been enjoying it. Why? Because that is, though, a strictly mobile game, and it's not trying to compete with others. But EA are doing enough to keep themselves pretty much the one and only sports title that no one can compete with. You know, UFL's coming, yes, and eFootball, yes, but they're still not going to compete with EA. They're huge. They're like the Amazon of football games or sports games. It's just ridiculous. If you knew how much money they made, madness. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. I will show you guys the POG Champion mod and all the update and what it's all about, and then we'll go from there. So, until next time, subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts below, but until next time, take care.